Welcome back to the channel. Today we have two big opportunities to progress towards silverware this season. First of all in the Europa League and then in the FA Cup. Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games, as mentioned in the preamble. The first game in the Europa League quarter-final, second leg. Can we get to that semi-final to meet Ajax or Atletico de Madrid? We will find out in due course. And then we have an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. We failed in our other series, Project Turnaround, at the semi-final stage. Let's hope we don't do the same again today. We face Aston Villa in that one. A couple of bits of news, but before we do that, don't forget, if you enjoy this series or even this episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. 66% of the people watching my videos don't subscribe. Please subscribe. It helps me here on the channel and lets me know that you want me to continue doing the things that I am currently doing. Couple of things, as I say, we have noted that there has been a big update to FM 24. It came out yesterday, as I record this, and it's messed around with the pictures, the manager picture. Oh, edit manager appearance. I think you can edit it, but you can't put in your own photograph. I'm sure there'll be a fix coming. Whether they meant to knock that off or not, I don't know. But it has been noted in the forums and a lot of chitter-chatter in the community about it. So, Sports Interactive, come on, please fix that one. I think it's in. It's something to do with fixing new gens, which has also caused a bit of a problem for people who use New Gen Manager to generate the new gen, so that they look like they're normal people as opposed to new gen type people. Anyway. Hopefully that will get fixed in due course. I'll keep you posted on that one. Bits of news, though, been going on. I have signed a new contract here at West Ham. I was on 43,500 a week. I'm now on 75,000 a week until 2027. I've also got a £1 million clause in there that if we win the Premier League, they pay me £1 million. So that would be rather nice, to say the least. I think £1 million is just quite handy, really. So today's games, Liverpool in the Europa League and Aston Villa in the semi-final, but we've played one game since last time. Everton, a 7-0 trouncing, a 2-1 win. A bit fortuitous, I guess, but hey, we won 2-1 at Anfield. And we've beaten Bournemouth by 4-1. A little bit of a hangover, to say the least. Max Aaron's got Bournemouth nose in front on 24 minutes. And to be honest, we were really having the utmost trouble getting into the game. And then on 12 minutes, Ollie Watkins, he was injured, which wasn't good news. And there was also an injury to another player as well, Kudos. But I think he'll be all right. I think he's back in the squad. Just picked up a knock. So, but Ollie Watkins' injury, he will be out for 5 to 6 weeks. He has damaged himself. So we'll probably miss best part of the rest of this season, which is bad news. Good news for some of the other players, but bad news for Ollie Watkins, who had been doing quite well goals-wise. Ollie. Where are you, Ollie? Is he not near the top? Ollie Watkins, he is. 16 goals to date, 5 assists, so contributed 21 goals to our season. So he will be missed. Jarrell Bowen, the only other scorer on 17, and Thomas Souček, 18 goals. I mean, look how many he scored. He scored 30 goals, or contributed 30 goals, should I say. Right, let's just go back to that and finish off looking at the Bournemouth game for you properly. So as I say, we were struggling, and it took us another 40 minutes until James Ward-Prowse got us back level. We will have a quick look at the goals because I think they're worth seeing. Raul de Thomas, who's come on for Watkins after he was picked up that injury, cuts it inside Ward-Prowse and puts that away. It's 1-1 at this point in time. And then on 82 minutes, Creswell, a deep cross. Alvarez getting his head on. Raul Thomas just sort of looking at it. And Alvarez thought, nah, I'm going to bury that one. 7 minutes later, we had a big cushion. Ward-Prowse from a corner. And it's Alvarez again doing one of our corner specials. And then just as if we needed it, Raul de Thomas rounded things off. 3 minutes into injury time, a free kick from Ward-Prowse. And Raul de Thomas hits it straight on the volley. And it's 4-1 win. Made it look a lot easier than it was. And I'll tell you, at times, I did think we were going to go and bottle it and throw away another 3 points. Luckily, we didn't. And I say luckily because you will see, if I go back across this way, they're the games that were played. Liverpool losing again. Manchester City beating Crystal Palace by a 1-0, so they keep up the pressure. And Manchester United beating Sheffield United. So for a short while, they were ticky-tack with us. But we did have that game in hand. And having played that game the following night against Bournemouth, did put us in a position where we are 3 points clear of Manchester United again. Some 12 points clear of Tottenham and some 14 points clear of Liverpool. Bearing in mind there's only 4 games to go, i.e. Liverpool, for instance, can only get 72 points. They can't catch us. So the where we stand is we are guaranteed a top 4 slot. And at this junction time, we've also qualified for the Champions League, which is why I think they offered me a new contract, to be fair. So that's where we are. So it's Manchester City are top. They do have a game in hand and potentially win that game in hand. They're a point in front of us at the minute. If they win that game in hand, there will be 4 points in front of us again. I think we may have blown it by losing to Manchester United in a previous episode. And yeah, these couple of draws here didn't help either. Dropping points, 4 points dropped there. And if we won at Brighton and one at Crystal Palace, we'd have been in front of Manchester City and not really had too much of a problem. But that little run of 3 games in the Premier League where we didn't win hasn't helped us in the slightest. So we'll see what happens. But we're diverted from that today. We are concentrating on the Europa League and the FA Cup semi-final. Let's not mess around anymore. Let's get into the game. The second leg then against Liverpool, we have a slender 2-1 lead back at our place, and we need to profit today and make sure that we get ourselves into the semi-final. They are without Tomiskas, he's unregistered, and Shabuskalai, I've pronounced that wrong. I do apologise. And he's out with a torn hamstring. Ollie Watkins, of course, out with that twisted ankle. And here is the team that will face Liverpool in this UEFA Europa League second leg quarter-final. Areola in goal then. It's Emerson, Mavropanos, Zuma and Kufal making up our defensive line. Souček, Ward-Prowse and Alvarez are in central midfield. And I like to see all these lines now that are starting to appear. Obviously, they're developing quite a partnership in that central mid. Kudos is back from his little knock. He is playing today as a shadow striker with Bowen and De Thomas up front. And De Thomas is better as a... We'll put him as a deep line forward, I think. Yeah, we'll put him as a deep line forward. So that's what he's on today. And then on the bench, we have Trott, Friedel, Paqueta, Ings, Johnson, Kamada, Benarama, Creswell, Fornells, Kerr, Chesters, and Carrera. And here we are for this one with the Europa League screens. Playing our usual formation. Liverpool. They are playing a 4 3-3 with a defensive midfielder, McAllister and Thiago, fairly forward. Liverpool playing in green and white quarters tonight. Liverpool with a free kick. 33 minutes on the clock. McAllister standing over the free kick. It's a ball into the area. Arnold Clark pulls it back. Darwin puts it away. They are back level 2-2 on aggregate. 16th goal of the season. And it's Liverpool 1, West Ham United 0. And that's not good. It's been a very cagey affair up till now. No highlights. And then we get a highlight which has put us on the wrong foot. Darwin in loads of space. And Areola not being able to do anything with that. Question of whether he was offside. He's not. It was Mavropanos who was playing him on. And that being our only highlight of the first half. And as you'll see, it was a very cagey affair. Liverpool had one shot, and that shot becoming a goal as it was on target, 0.24. 57% of the possession, though. We've had 4 shots, 2 on target, 0.30, and 43% of the possession. I'm guessing our shots weren't even they weren't even worthy of a highlight. We need to sort this out. It's 2-2 on aggregate, and we need to turn it around in the second half. Bowen with a corner, swings it in. It's deep, but Allison comes out and collects. Not going to profit from that. Surprised to see Bowen taking them from that far side. I guess Creswell isn't on the bench. Isn't on the pitch, rather. So that's why that's happening. Gomez has come for a long gallop down here. He's going to get this ball into the area. In fact, he's going to go on his own. And McAllister's there. It's bobbling around, but it is cleared. And we survive. See it from behind the goal. Zuma, apparently, it was that cleared the ball. But we let Gomez run around. Somebody should have tackled him. In fact, I think Zuma got in the way of that. It was Mavropanos that got in the way and Zuma who cleared it to touch. A free kick. Virgil van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold. And it's all been Liverpool, which is a bit of a worry. That's a poor ball. Souček comes and tidies up. Areola. Can something come of this? Areola launches a long one, but it is long. Nobody under that. As Kudos brings it down. Raul de Thomas. Bowen now to Alvarez. Alvarez over the top. Raul de Thomas. Can he put it away? He can. His 7th goal of the season. And a question whether it's offside. I question that. We get to see the lines or not? No. And with 55 minutes on the clock, we've taken off Raul de Thomas, who's got a 6.2. He's looking fired up, but he's not performing. And we've taken him off and moved Kudos alongside Bowen and brought on Kamada. They have a throw in. Calabria. Gravenberch. Out to Salah. Gravenberch. Through. And they've scored a second. And they've taken the lead. We're not going any further than the quarterfinals, boys and girls, at this point in time. And they take a 3-2 aggregate lead. They've come to the London Stadium and they are nicking it in our backyard. And I'm not happy. As good as we were in the first leg, we've been poor in this second. Well, with 62 minutes on the clock, making 3 changes, 2 of them in midfield. Souček is off. Carrera is on. Alvarez is off. Paqueta is on. And we've also taken off Emerson for Aaron Creswell on the left-hand side. Let's go and see if we can get this back. Mavropanos with a long throw now. Zuma heads it on. It's bouncing around there and we put it away. Carrera, who's come on as a substitute. Oh, rolled out again. I'm kidding you. There's something wrong. FM. Oh, dearie me. He wasn't offside. There was no way he was offside. And it's all over. We're out of the Europa League. That's one Silverware gone for a Burton. And it's a 3-2 loss. Lost 2-0 on the night to Liverpool. And 2 disallowed goals, which I question whether to my mind, they were definitely goals. I'm pretty sure of it. De Thomas, I mean, Carrera, that surely, to goodness, this one. I mean, Carrera's definitely onside. The only thing I can think of is if you go back. We've gone too far now, though. Right, here we go. Let's have a look one more time and see who nods the ball on and whether they're offside. Who's this? This is Gravenberch. Kufal. I can only think when the ball's thrown in, Zuma's headed it on, and the linesman has picked up the fact that Kufal probably is in an offside position. It's gone in. It's headed back. Or is he interfering with the goalkeeper because he's in line, you know, the visibility of the goalkeeper? I don't know. It's not clear, and I'm disappointed. Very, very disappointed. It's not turned out as we wanted. We'd had 11 shots, 4 on target, 0.85. We never got back that possession, 40% possession. Liverpool 6 shots, 2 on target, 1.02, and 60% of the possession. Yeah, it's not a good start to the episode, is it? And before we face Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final, and let's hope we can go and win that. A chance of Silverware there, because I think our other 2 chances could well be on the way out. We've got a round of Premier League games. I'll say a round. A few teams have played Premier League games as it stands. And this is what we're looking at. Manchester City still to play. They're playing on Sunday because they've been in Europe. We are in second on 74 points. Manchester United are third on 71. Tottenham fourth on 62. Arsenal move up to fifth on 61. Liverpool down to sixth on 60. Both played 34. Tottenham have game in hand and Manchester City have a game in hand in the top there. More interesting down the bottom, Sheffield United 7 points adrift with 12 points available. Fulham and Luton both have 12 points. 32 is their maximum. Nottingham Forest just outside of the drop zone, standing on the trapdoor, and they are on 32 points. So Fulham and Luton look likely to drop once this round of games is played, and Nottingham Forest they may well be all right. In fact, Luton Town actually have 4 games left. 5 games left. What am I on about? So they got 15 points. So they're actually a chance that they are a bit safer. So it's getting a bit precarious down the bottom. Right, without any more to do, let's go and have the FA Cup semi-final. We're going to Wembley for this one to meet Aston Villa. Team news is Martinez is doubtful with a hip injury. Konsa is doubtful with a tight thigh. And, of course, Ollie Watkins out for us with a twisted ankle. Previously in this save, we've beaten Aston Villa 2-1 at Villa Park and beaten them 2-0 at the London Stadium. This different kettle of fish. It's on neutral ground. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Aston Villa. And here is the team that will face Aston Villa in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Areola in goal, Creswell, Friedel, Mavropanos and Johnson making up our defensive line. Soucek, Carrera and Ward-Prowse in central midfield. Kamada makes a start behind Ings and De Thomas up front. Frabinski, Zuma, Paqueta, Bowen, Emerson, Benarama, Kudos, Alvarez and Fernels make up the bench. And here we are as we face Aston Villa here at Wembley. Playing in our familiar formation. Aston Villa won 4 of their last 5, drawn 1, lost 1. They're playing a 4-2-2-2 or 4-2-4, whichever way you look at it. .26 minutes on the clock. A throw-in for Aston Villa. Cash on the ball. And it's been very cagey, very similar to the Liverpool game. That ball forward to Raul de Thomas, but he wasn't getting it. And the defender cut it out very nicely. A pow. And Aston Villa advance at the moment. We need to keep them at bay. Go out of 2 cups in quick succession wouldn't be a good episode, would it? And Areola, I'm not sure if he had to push that over. No, it's a goal kick. Creswell with the throw-in on this near side. Souček. Friedel. Souček. Souček through to Creswell. Creswell stayed onside. Crosses it deep. Not quite sure who he was looking for, but he didn't find him. And counter-attack is on. It's through, but Mavropanos tidies up. Kamada. Can he get this into the area? He's got to be careful that players aren't too advanced. It's a good play, but it's the defender actually thwarted him in the end. And it was cut out. Good play up until then by Kamada. And the counter-attack is on again. And we're outnumbered here. And Traore, he's offside, I think. Referee won't allow it. Or is it going to go to VAR? We have VAR in this game. Why didn't we have it in the Europa League? That's what I'm wondering. It is disallowed. He was offside. Surely we should have had VAR in... Oh, way offside. Should have had VAR in the Europa League. And it's all... Half-time comes. And it's poor. First half, to be fair. 3 shots, just the one on target. 0.21. 47% of the possession. They've had 2 shots. 1 on target. 0.04. And, second half has to be better. And we have to make an enforced change at half-time. Danny Ings has picked up an injury. He's got a foot injury. And he's not in the best of positions. So Jarrard Bowen replaces him at half-time. Martial with a free kick just outside of their area. And Souček steps in, wins that ball. Kamada and Bowen. Bowen in. Bowen crosses it in for Raul de Thomas. And it's a goal. We are in the lead after 53 minutes. Bowen coming on as substitute at half-time, making that assist. And Raul de Thomas, all he had to do was put it into the empty net. Good work between Souček, Kamada and Bowen. Bowen getting as far forward. Areola with a goal kick to Johnson. Johnson on this left side. Raul de Thomas. Well, it's the right side, really, isn't it? Kamada, Souček. Souček out to Creswell. Creswell comes forward. Looked like he was going to give that ball away. Gets into the area. And it's Jarrard Bowen. His 18th goal of the season. And he's come on. We took him off 2-0 at 64, by the way. But we dropped him onto the bench, really, because he's not been in form. But I'm wondering whether actually he's better as an impact substitute because he's come on and he's changed the game since he's been on. And with 65 minutes on the clock, making 2 more changes, Tomas Souček, he's tiring again, and we've taken him off. Brought on Lucas Paqueta, and we've also taken off James Ward-Prowse, who is also very tired, and we've brought on Edson Alvarez. And with 85 minutes on the clock, nearly 86 minutes to be fair, we've made our final 2 changes. Kurt Zuma comes on for Mavropanos, and we've also taken off Aaron Creswell and brought on Emerson. There are no more highlights in this game, but we will be returning to Wembley for a final against either Liverpool, our nemesis in the Europa League, but we could beat them in the FA Cup. We'll have to play better than we did today, I think, against Aston Villa. But it will either be them or Manchester United. Lost to both of those just recently. So Raul de Thomas after 53, Jarrard Bowen after 64. 8 shots, 3 on target, 44% of the possession. Aston Villa had 7 shots, 1 on target, and 56% of the possession. We are through to an FA Cup final. But who will we play? Before we find out who we play in the final of the FA Cup, I can tell you Manchester City have beaten Nottingham Forest by 5-0, which gives them a 4-point advantage over us at the top of the table. Newcastle beating Luton by 5-0, and Luton now are those, as previously prophesied, they have those 12 points available to them, and they are 12 points adrift at Nottingham Forest. It's going to be a bit of a tall order, I think, at the bottom of the table there. And so we come to the other semi-final. We played ours on Sunday. They're playing on Wednesday evening. Let's go and find out who is going to be playing. Let's go and find out who's going to be playing us in the final. It's Manchester United. Gravenberch getting a goal after 81, but that equalising Mason Mount's goal after 56. Martial winning it on 82. It's Manchester United versus West Ham in the final on 25th of May. So this is how we're going to do it, because if we look at the league table with everything sat as it is, we know that we've got to close that gap on Manchester City if we are going to get anywhere near them, and it's going to be a bit of a tall order. So we're going to come back for Brentford and Manchester City in the next episode, then Liverpool and Sheffield United in the episode after that. That will end our season. We'll find out where we finish in the Premier League, but what we will do is we will have a one-match final episode of this season in the FA Cup final. And then what we will do is we will come back for the transfer special. I got a frog in the throat today, haven't I? Which will lead us into our second season here at West Ham. Can we go one better next time? Because we've also got Champions League football next season. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire and our other series from the bottom to the top as they are released. The best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel, I guess, is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2. It's very easy. New episodes of Irons in the Fire will be released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you for the next episode. But don't forget, tomorrow, same time, will be the latest episode. I need to see where my schedule is, where we are here. Yeah, it's going to be the latest episode of From the Bottom to the Top. Can we help them survive? You go and find out tomorrow. If not, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday for episode 20.